returned. What is happening, everybody? It's your boy Jimmy James 59, and well, I got some Rome build orders here. Looking at the Romans, so check it out. Right, Romans are not yet available for play on the ranked ladder, but you can play with them in lobbies, and you can also play with them if you want more of like a queuing up and waiting for a match kind of feature. You can play them on quick play. Now, quick play is something that I haven't really used that much. I kind of like the idea of it in some ways, but not a lot of people play quick play, and that means that the queue times take a long time. Because not a lot of people play it, you get kind of random opponents on it sometimes. Sometimes you get people who are really good and you don't expect to be on there. Sometimes you get matched up with people way lower than you. Sometimes you get matched up with people who play just a lot in general. Sometimes you get matched up. I've actually been trying to play it a bit since the Romans have come out. And sometimes you get people that have not very good PCs as well. And so there can be a lot of lagging. So, quick play is a strange feature, I think. But if you want to queue the Romans up, you can't do it on the ladder just yet. And I've been taking a quick play, so that way I can try to get out some interesting build orders for y'all, so that maybe, given that, some things in Rome are going to change, other things maybe aren't, well, maybe we have some builds, and it's kind of a way also, too, to give the developers some feedback on aspects of the civilization that we like. The purpose of this video is to do a build order that essentially is an all-in men-at-arms rush, where we are going to try to get fast armor on our men-at-arms, so that way we can take advantage of the fact that the Romans benefit from their infantry blacksmith upgrades doing double effect, right? We want to take advantage of that, and this is going to be a 20 pop men-at-arms build. Our opponent's Goths, which is a really scary infantry civilization. So with the Goths, you always have to expect some trickery. And so we're going to try and see if we can use our army here to put the Goths to shame, right? Very historical matchup. And so definitely into this kind of thing. So 20 pop men-at-arms with the Romans, who do actually gather resources faster and build faster. So it's kind of cool. Not terribly difficult thing to pull off with them. You're basically doing a normal build. You're going 3 to wood, sending a lot of the TC for food. And basically, with your last villager, you're gonna make you're gonna make a barracks here, and then send 2 villas to make a house, and then put them on gold. And so it's kind of the way the build works, right? See, we're going in this rhinoceros. And we've lured in some ostriches for this build. So in an ideal world in this build, you get double bit axe and armor almost immediately. If you only lure in 1 ostrich, I think that gets a bit difficult to pull off. So you may have to decide between more of like an eco-heavy approach, where you go double bit axe, or you decide between just going ahead getting armor and having less of an economy. My thought process on that is that if you're doing this and you're up against, say, a fast archer build, or you're up against an opponent's men-at-arms, I would personally really consider sacrificing sacrificing double bit axe and get armor. If you're up against an opponent who's like scout rushing, and scouts are probably going to run away from you anyways, I might delay. I might just go ahead and delay the armor and go for double bit axe instead, honestly. But yeah, but you can see, right? And I'll try and put this build up on the in the video somewhere if I haven't already. And we're gonna go 1 lumber camp for the moment. You could go 2, but kind of trying to prioritize, make sure we have enough wood for buildings and things like that. And we're just cranking out militia at this point. I'm really trying to get our eco going. There was definitely some lag I had in this game, and so I think it looks a little messier, though. Yeah, my opponent's, interesting interesting build, interesting approach. I played this guy a couple times since I started doing quick play. I played this guy a couple times now, and shout out to him. Pretty good sport. Um, so yeah. So anyways, I always like to play against fun people. And you can see, right, we have our militia, right? Not a lot of idle time at the TC. Same for our opponent. He has also not a lot of idle time. Ooh, he's got some villagers. Look at him sneaking. We're not gonna see it, right? So, gonna get kind of tricky. Very tricky. Okay, so here's the thing. Are we getting men-at-arms right away? Yes. Let's take a look and see what we get right away. Right? So we're getting some resources. We still have a sheep. Is that what you call it underneath there? All right, we have 176 res. This blacksmith is still coming up, right? Right now, kind of looking at things, seeing what we might research, right? Notice we have 200 wood. That's good enough for me, right? Let's get double bed axe, and we should have the food to go ahead and get our armor upgrade once this blacksmith is up. Boom, right? So we're at about 10.5 minutes. Now we have armor on the way, and we're doing damage to our opponent. Gonna see if we can cut into his food production. Again, he's Goths. We're expecting to see men-at-arms, so we want to cut into that food production. Keep him from being able to do that as much. And we're going to go ahead, right, fight a little bit here. Walling up the front just a bit to protect our own berries. Okay, right. And now you can see, right, zoom in a little bit. Right, so now we have armor, right? So now we have armor. And those militia get a little close. So he's going for a militia rush. He's just prioritizing getting units out. And since we have 3 men-at-arms forward, kind of worried about the forward at our own base. So we're going to try to look to just crank out units as much as possible, because if we get overwhelmed and we can't make men-at-arms, then things kind of stall out for us. But you can see though, right? These men-at-arms take almost no damage from our from those militia, right? There's some villagers there. I mean, two base melee armor is great. The 3 base pierce armor. I see 3 pierce armor. Okay, so let's no. Let's go take a look at this fight, right? So we're gonna go ahead, right? And let's just look at this HP. A lot of HP, We're fighting all of these villagers here. Look how slowly our HP is actually going down, actually. We're fighting in a whole village worth of people. We haven't lost a unit yet. Men-at-arms would never be able to do this. Boom, we get a vill kill, run away. Right? Literally just stood in front of a whole village of people and we're taking these fights, man. It's pretty nuts. We're trying to queue up more. Because again, we have this forward to worry about. And we want to deal with that. Again, not the cleanest game. Not the cleanest game, kind of on purpose though, right? Goths can make military so fast that we're kind of selling out here just to make sure that we can keep the pressure on. And we're going to even the vill count that way. And you can see, right, we do have a villager lead now because of this pressure we're able to put on. Going in, targeting weak vills, fighting a little bit, getting another weak vill, moving out, right? That's the name of the game. Get out a little bit, look for a weak vill, just kind of running, spotting them, boom, spot this guy, right? Easy day. All right, so let's see how much. 1 damage, folks. An archer that doesn't have fletching is only doing 1 damage against you. That's pretty cool. Like, now you can really fight. And this guy's still back here, wreaking havoc, bro. And we're dealing with the front of our base pretty well. Attacking pretty good. We've taken out the archers. And at this point, yep, not bad, not bad. Now we can go after the range, right? Again, I think one of the things about this build is that, as our opponent just calls it, one of the things about this build that I think it really does for the Romans is that the Romans have your men-at-arms rush, the utility of the men-at-arms becomes extended. Because again, like, you don't have to just stay on men-at-arms the whole time, right? You can see, right, we're getting a archery range up. You know, we have the wood. And you can add in skirms if you need to. But usually what happens with the men-at-arms rush is sometime during early feudal age, your opponent gets like 3 or 4 archers pletching, and all of a sudden, right, you know, you're dying hard. Because as the blacksmith, you're not usually researching any armor at all. So these guys are going to have 1 pierce armor. Archer with fletching is going to be doing 4 damage. You know, doesn't take a ton of archers to start one-shotting. And then it only takes a few archers to 2 or 3 shot you. But with, you get up to 3 pierce armor. Now you need probably a group of like 8, 9, maybe even 10 archers to really be doing that damage, right? So that your men-at-arms getting thinned out. And so it takes a little while longer for an opponent to be able to get that kind of massive archers. So you have a window. And so basically, right, the Roman men-at-arms, the window for their viability is just open a lot more. I could probably talk about Roman longswords and the advantages of that, but it feels like that's a separate video, so maybe that's going to be one that has to show up. So I'll jump out there, get out there, see if I can experiment more with the Romans, and I'll be back with y'all in another video. But yeah, I just really wanted to show you the build. Honestly, I could have just stopped this game once we got the armor, to show you just how fast we can get an armor with the Civ. But I did want to show you, right, the effect that it had. Villagers do barely any damage to you, so you can just kind of hang out, fight with villagers all day. Easy stuff, right? Really, really interesting Civ so far. I like this aspect of the Civ, and yeah, I hope this aspect actually of the Civ stays when it eventually comes to rank. There's probably some other things I'll change. I'll do a video on that too, how I might think about redesigning the Romans. But once again, another video for another day. That being said, guys, I'm James59, and I'll see you out there in the ladder. Peace.